a girl. She expected the world, but it flew away from her reach. So she ran away in her sleep and dreamed of paradise, paradise. Every time she closed her eyes. She was just a girl. She expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy. The wheel breaks the butterfly. Every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes. In the night, she was just a girl. She expected the world, but it flew away from her reach. So she ran away in her sleep and dreamed of paradise, paradise. Every time she closed her eyes. She was just a girl. She expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy. The wheel breaks the butterfly. Every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes. In the night, the stormy night, away she flies. A dream of...
What's up, GU? How we doing, everyone? Week 8 coming back at ya.
Sorry, I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping on y'all.
I'm Bentley.
And I'm Charles.
And that was the worst intro we've ever done. What a shame. We messed up the order.
It did feel wrong.
Oh well. What can you do? We've done it now.
It's done.
No going back.
Yeah, we don't get paid enough to redo tape.
So what do we got coming up this week?
Oh, well, we've got our favourite segment, ISO Thoughts.
Oh.
There's only a few weeks left of that now. So
I do love that.
look out for that one.
And we're going to be saying hi to Huggy G. I can't imagine how demanding he's going to be when he grows up and he can actually talk, because he just keeps asking for more money.
It's, yeah, constant. It's just constant, like every day, 100 emails.
Yeah, 100 emails. Hey guys, you get that other email
Get my email.
about the pay rise for me,
Hey guys,
for more money.
haven't heard back from you in 5 minutes. Just wanted to make sure you got my email.
Hudson, we're not replying, sorry.
You're in my spam folder.
You can't even type, actually.
You're literally in my spam folder.
Yeah, you're in the junk folder. You can't even type. How are you sending us these? Anyway, and then after that, we have the return of another segment, Kooksland.
We decided to bring it back.
Woohoo!
By
That's
popular demand.
That's probably, I love the intro of that one. It's so good.
It's epic.
It is great.
ISO Thoughts again.
The return of ISO Thoughts.
So this week we realised, while sleeping, if you think about the word bed,
It looks like a bed. B-E-D.
actually it's got the two ends and then it's flat, you know? You could just nestle up
Bed.
in that and
I'll just sleep on my bed.
yeah.
On my B-E-D
Oh, are you-
bed.
Are you talking about sleeping on the word or the actual bed?
Oh, the word. Oh,
You're gonna
on
sleep
my
on
bed.
the
Well,
word.
same thing.
Oh.
What if you had a bed that, when you look at it from the side, it just says bed, and then you put a mattress on top of it?
There's an idea.
Surely
Patent
someone
that.
could.
Patent that. Hudson
I'm
will
gonna
steal
patent it. Hudson, don't take that idea.
Look,
You better not.
Look, I just got an email.
You better
from
not.
him. He's trying to claim it. He's claimed it.
No.
He got it. He got it.
Hudson, you do this every time. You just take my
He's
ideas.
such an entrepreneur.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, that was interesting.
That's crazy.
But yes, time for the return of Kooksland.
Time to get slammed.
Can't wait. Let's see it again.
Oh.
There's too much choice and not enough time. What's more? Aiming for your head. Get down. You're the only one in town.
Oh my goodness.
That's
That's-
absolutely epic.
That is edgy. I like that.
Post what you think happened to them.
Did they live? Did they die? Did they sleep on a bed? On the word bed? Well,
What's that?
what's
What's
what?
What's that?
What do you hear something? What is it? Hudson?
Hudson?
Is that you, Hudson?
Is that Hudson?
Hudson? What are you doing today? Hello?
Hudson?
right.
There you go.
Well,
Oh.
Hudson.
That was an interesting one by Hudson there.
Yeah, cool, man.
We've got a contract with him for 1 more week, so that finally he'll be off the payroll.
Finally.
Finally. Oh, we only have a contract for 1 more week.
Oh, don't mention that. It's time for our main segment, and we've got something interesting for you. What do we have, Charles?
We're going to be doing some beautiful art.
We're both so good at it.
We're going to be making some self-portraits that don't have us in it.
Some non-self-portraits. Self-portraits of each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun. And
portraity.
our artistic techniques, our professional artistic techniques are going to be on show.
Welcome to the art studio.
Welcome, our professional setup. Here we are.
This is how Picasso painted. What did Picasso paint actually?
He painted a lot of squares and triangles,
This
but
is how
there should have been
Picasso-
faces.
Painted squares. The Mona Lisa was painted here.
That's right, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's right. And Julia Andrews. Julia
Andrews.
Julie Andrews. She was there too.
And we are about to make some art just for you from this famous studio. Now we all know that art is never good when there's no pressure. So we've got a series of challenges for each other so that we create the masterpiece. Oh oui oui!
That's Italian for beautiful.
Challenge 1. 1 minute to draw a self-portrait of each other. A non-self-portrait.
Self-portrait. I'm doing a self-portrait of you.
Okay, I'll do a self-portrait of you. Ready?
Just can you just stand there and just stay still?
Alright.
Go!
Starts now.
Just stay still, man.
Oh, what have I done? Oh no.
I don't know how much time there's left, but
Oh my. I'm running out of time, that's
I
not
can't
good.
actually see anything. I'm gonna get rid of that because I don't know what that looks like.
Oh no.
Oh, that's it! Stop!
Time's up!
Down!
Oh my.
Now.
Masterpiece! Time for the reveal. Make sure you're commenting on which one you think is best. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
This is Charles' portrait of Bentley. And Bentley's portrait of Charles.
Wow.
Both masterpiece.
Oh, oui. Challenge number 2.
We are going to be making a landscape picture of a countryside. 1 minute timer, here we
Are you
go.
doing country?
Country.
Okay, I got ya.
Okay. Time starts now, go! Oh wow. Oh wow. This is time!
That's it done. Wow, this is looking so good.
Oh my
This is
goodness.
so good. Oh, I'm so proud of my
We
work.
go for the reveal. Comment
So
which one's
proud.
best. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Masterpiece!
I decided to add an elephant into mine.
Wow.
Look at that. See that?
That's
3D effect.
Look at that river.
3D effect, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Look at that detail in that facial features.
oh wow.
Wow. 3D effect as well.
Whoa.
Look, that dinosaur egg is
I think the giraffe looks pregnant.
I think you could be onto something.
She must have been pregnant in the time of taking this picture.
Number 3.
Free choice. We get to draw whatever we want.
This is where real masterpieces are created.
1 minute timer.
Go. I ruined it!
Charles, how could you? What are you?
Oh, sorry, hang on, just let me... Oh, that's it! I'm just gonna cheat to write that word there.
Alright, make sure you comment. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Masterpiece!
Ooh. Wow. Look at that.
Iron Man and Eggman. Who would have known we would do superheroes? Both of us.
Both of us. Alright, first things first, we got Eggman here now. Eggman crossing, he's bold, he's crossing a road here.
Wow. I love his face.
Yeah, that's one of his defining features. And then we come across...
Iron Man.
Wow, he's looking pretty... He must be pretty...
He hasn't had a haircut because he's been in isolation.
He's got iron growing from him. Oh, he should get a haircut.
Thank you so much, everyone. Make sure you vote who you think won overall in the challenges, and put it in the comments below. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
That's tragic.
I know, it's so sad. And guess what? Next week is our last week of term.
So everyone get hyped, get pumped.
We're so keen, we're about to have a party right now, but we won't, we'll wait until next week. See you there. Bye everyone.
See you soon. I don't know what I'm doing, man.
Well, thank you, Charles and Bentley. Another night of laughs from you guys. Hey, I'm really looking forward to hearing from Chris, tonight. He's going to be sharing his testimony with us. So get your Bible, your notepad, your pen ready to go. Let's hear from the man himself, Chris.
Hey GU, it's so good having you this week, and I hope you're all doing really well. So if you don't know me, my name's Chris, and I'm just going to spend the next few minutes talking about my walk with God throughout life. So let's go right back to the start. So I'm actually a country boy. Nah, not really, but I spent the first 3 years of my life growing up in Tamworth before we moved to Newcastle. Now I was actually raised in a Christian household, and we attended a Presbyterian church, and that was really good. They had really good teaching there, and I grew up learning a lot about God. Now growing up in church sounds pretty easy. The decision is made for you, right? Well, not really. It certainly places you in the right direction. There's a lot more to it than that. So moving into high school was a bit of a weird period for me, I guess. Now, I went to a public school. Shout out to all my public school lads. Anyway, you get chucked into this new environment with all these new faces and all these new people, and it's there's a lot of new influence around you, and there's no hand holding like there was when you're going through, primary school and those earlier years. And you see a lot of people, really starting to figure out what life means for them, and they start to experiment, and it's like everyone, I guess, seems to lose their innocence in a day. Anyway, at the start of high school was weird for me because I was surrounded by so many people who, they weren't Christians, and I found it really hard to stay focused on God because I had so many different opinions and influences coming at me. I was always more worried about just fitting in and not being seen as the weird, innocent Christian kid. It got to the point where I actually would tell people that, I only went to church because my parents would make me go, or I would just flat out avoid the topic altogether because I was just really embarrassed about it all, and I really didn't want to own it. I'd flat out just swear and say stupid stuff and do dumb stuff just because that was how you'd fit in. Nothing wrong with doing dumb stuff because it's pretty funny sometimes. Anyway, when I went into high school, everyone, you can start going to youth group. So I started going to my church's youth group, my old church's youth group, and that was alright, but there was a massive age gap between me and the next group of people. I think there was the next youngest person was 16, so there was a huge age gap, and I just found it really hard to connect with them. So I slowly dropped off from that and wasn't really going to youth group at all. But God had another plan for me. So my best mate Bailey, he went to this church called C3, and they had this youth group called Generation United, and and he was kind of in the same position where there wasn't really anyone his age going. So the natural solution, we'll go together. So that's what we did. Bay and I went week in, week out from then on, and we loved it. We loved hanging out with Ollie King and Pastor G, and it was just sick. Everyone wanted to just hang out with us, and it was a great time every week. But I was still wrestling with that decision of making, dedicating my life to God. And yeah, I found that really hard. Anyway, fast forward a few months from after starting to go to GU, I actually broke my collarbone. Honestly, it's all Bailey's fault, let's be real. But I remember I didn't go to youth for a few months, probably like 6 weeks, I think. And honestly, I don't know why I didn't go. Really, if you're in a sling and you're not coming to youth, it's no excuse. Get to youth. You break your collarbone, next day, youth group. Anyway, I remember I finally started going back. I think it was the second week I had started coming back to youth. And we were at a combined conference with a few different youth groups. One of them was actually a live youth, which was called WG back then. Hey, I don't even remember when they changed name. Anyway, I remember we were all listening to the message, and it was Pastor Andrew from WG, and he had finished off his message and he was praying, and he stopped and singled me out, pointed at me, and he said, "You've been away from God, but it's all going to be okay now. God's got you." And that just like blew me away, because up till that point, I'd just been like really felt like I'd been off the path and really trying to wrestle with everything, and that just cleared the way for me. And that was the night that I gave my life to God. And ever since then, I've just been trying to grow in my relationship with God, and really focus on using my life to reflect God's love onto others. So I have a verse that I've found has always reminded me to focus on God and worry less about what people think about me, and worry less about just day-to-day life in general. And that's Matthew 6 verse 25. And this actually precedes this week's Bible verse on your term card there, which I think was Matthew 6 verse 34. It's just a really good challenge, I think. So Matthew 6 verse 25 says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes?" So I definitely encourage you to read the rest of that chapter from verse 25 through to the end, because it's a really good challenge to us all. It's so relevant to just everyday life, and especially now with so much distress going on and so much worry in the world. It's so easy to get caught up in worrying about things in life and what's coming next. But what if we just take a step back and we focus on the beauty of this life that God has given us, and we just focus on building our relationship with Him and just being happy with that. So looking back at it now, it's evident and really clear that God has had a plan for me from the get-go. Like even just simple things like for some reason when I was 8 years old, even though my family had no interest really in doing anything musical at all, I just randomly decided that I wanted to get into music and play musical instruments. So that all started with piano and moved into guitar. And now I get to use that and minister to people with that, and just try and lead people to God using that. And I just believe that that was God with His plan for me. So wrapping up, I'm just going to pray. And dear God, thank you for tonight. Thank you that we could all meet together, even if it's online. I just pray that everyone is encouraged week in, week out, and that they will worry less about the things of this world, and what they will wear, what they will eat, and That you will lift the stresses off everyone, and that you will just allow people to focus better on you and build their relationship with you. Yeah, I just pray that everyone is encouraged by tonight's discussion, and that there's a lot of laughter. Amen. So wrapping up, finally, get to youth. We love having you at youth. You guys are all brilliant. You're so good, and just connect with each other. I found that the most important thing for me was just having, just one Christian mate, so that I wasn't just getting all this influence from everywhere else, and I could really ground myself on that, and just keep praying to God and ask Him for clarity and for peace. And just bring your friends to youth, because they don't know what they're missing out on until they get there. We would love to have them. There's no prejudgment, they don't need to worry about fitting in. We love everyone. So keen to see you on Zoom. See you soon.
Thank you, Chris, for sharing your testimony with us tonight. I loved hearing how God has impacted your life and how you came to know Him and how others have actually influenced you on your walk with God. If any of you out there are feeling far from God right now, or maybe you've never actually entered into your own personal relationship with God, maybe it's just your upbringing, your family, we'd love to introduce you to Jesus. We'd love to reconnect you with your Lord and Savior. So please reach out, comment in the chat, or send us a text, an Instagram message, however you want to get in contact. We are here for you. We would love to speak to you and pray with you and for you. Well, we are looking forward to chatting with you some more tonight on Zoom. So go and get ready, get a drink, do what you need to do. We'll see you really soon.
Hey, what are you doing? Meet you on Zoom 7:30. 7:30.
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy, the wheel breaks the butterfly, every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes.